Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the MindShare Podcast. So, last week I sat down to do some of my own admin work, some R&D if you want to call it. And I came across this speaker on a website that kind of pulled me in. I liked his delivery style. I kind of like the message. So I went to his website. I went to his social media, check him out, sort of stalk him a little bit, find out what he's all about, find out, what is the topic that he talks on and where has he been? Where did he come from? Like, really smart guy. And the stuff he was talking about was like really future-facing stuff about AI, like what it can do, what the possibilities are. And naturally, because it's still in its infancy stage with this whole topic of AI, he was blowing people's minds. Like, people were locked in. And as I sat there watching from the videos with his talk and thinking about his overall message, I found myself asking a question. Why me? Like, you ever do that? Like, seriously, why would a conference hire David Greenspan when they can hire this guy? I mean, this guy's talking about the future, AI and technology and like automation and all the things you can do and the possibilities and things it can do for you. And I mean, it's all the stuff that everybody wants to learn right now. Meanwhile, here I am over here, talking about relationships and phone calls and doing your follow-up and building trust with people and that real human connection. And to some people, I probably sound like the old guy yelling at clouds, like straight up, like for a second there, I really started questioning myself. Like, maybe my message is becoming outdated. Maybe people don't want to hear about relationships anymore. Maybe they just want shortcuts. Like they want efficiency. They want automation. They want the right prompts. They want all the systems to get, built and then do the work for them. And as it's trending, our future over the next 10 years, it belongs to AI. I mean, you think about all the stuff that's happened in the past between, the internet and email and social media and chatbots and online lead gen. Like, I mean, all the stuff that's been going on with technology. But then something hit me. The more I sat there listening, the more I realized I was asking the wrong question. And the question isn't like, why would someone hire me? The real question was, what happens if this guy's right? Because if AI truly changes everything, if it really becomes integrated into every part of our lives, into our businesses, like, then where does the road lead? And I'm not talking about just, like right now. I'm talking about, not even maybe next year, but like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Where does it all lead to if we don't pay attention? This is episode number 389. Now, before anybody goes and freaks out and starts calling me all anti-AI, relax a second here, okay? I use it. Of course I use it. My team uses it. My clients use it. Like, I get it. This isn't some anti-AI episode. In fact, it's quite the opposite. See, I think AI is incredible. The capabilities are absolutely mind-blowing. You can obviously use it to help you write emails and come up with different content. And, we use it to help us like think through presentations and the logic of things, or help us organize ideas, or even generate some ideas. You can help it with your marketing. You can have it take notes on virtual meetings, so it actually summarizes what everybody talked about. And even if you're taking your own notes, which you really should be, this captures like everything, right? I've used it to build an app, something that's like even well outside of the regular day-to-day that I do. I've used it to build an app for something different that I'm working on. I don't have any programming experience. I mean, I've got full-time programmers on staff with my marketing firm over at Kits. I don't know this stuff. I kind of just, we talk about what we want to do. We architect something. We come up with ideas. Then they go build it. But like AI's given me the ability to go build my own app. It's crazy. I mean, people are creating videos with it now that are not even the people themselves actually talking. It can help with automation on so many different workflows, so many things. I mean, look, and I know at the speed alone is unbelievable. And we're only at the beginning of this whole thing. But here's what I think is really dangerous, okay? Everybody is talking about what AI can do. Very few people are talking about what AI might cost. And I'm not talking about financially. I mean humanly. Look, think about every major technological advancement in history, okay? When you think about the cars and the trucks and the automobiles, like they changed the world. But nobody was talking about traffic back then. Or if you think about the internet, I just brought that up a few minutes ago, right? The internet changed the world. But nobody was talking about information overload back then. In comes social media, which I also referenced. It changed the world. Nobody was talking about anxiety. The need for constant dopamine dumps, the fact that we compare ourselves to every single person that's out there, even people we don't know. How about the depression? What it does to people's minds? How about attention spans? What? Sorry, what'd you say? Right? Like, think about how distracted we are. Think about the smartphone. It changed the world. And at that point, nobody was talking about families that were sitting together while everybody was staring at their screens. Nobody was talking about kids losing interpersonal communication skills. Nobody was talking about constant distraction. Nobody was talking about never being mentally present. And now we have AI. And once again, everybody is talking about productivity. Everybody's talking about efficiency and speed and convenience. And hey, yeah, maybe they're right. But history tells us something important. Every technological advancement solves problems. Every technological advancement also creates new ones. Every single time. Think about your own life for a second. Go sit in a restaurant. Look around. Families at dinners, couples on dates, kids sitting beside parents, and everybody is staring at a screen. Nobody actually sits back and talks anymore. Like nobody just sits anymore. Hell, nobody gets bored anymore. We're too distracted. I mean, the second there's actually like a moment of silence, we go and we grab the phone. Standing in line, phone. Waiting room, phone. Elevator, phone. Bathroom, phone. We can't even exist with our own thoughts anymore. And we accepted it because it was convenient, because it was useful, because it made life, quote unquote, better. Because you have every tool you need at your fingertips in the palm of your hand. But if we're being straight up about all this, something major was lost along the way. And what if we are standing at the exact same moment with AI right now? What if 20 years from now, we look back and realize that there was this human cost that we never saw coming? What happens when nobody learns how to communicate because AI writes everything for them? What happens when nobody learns how to sell because AI creates the perfect scripts? What happens when nobody learns how to think critically because the answer is always one prompt away? What happens when nobody learns how to build relationships because automation handles the follow-up? What happens when people stop learning how to actually connect with another human being? Look, I don't know the answer, but I think we better start asking the question. And this is where I think business leaders really need to wake up. Okay, because companies right now are completely obsessed with AI. And they're bringing in, training for AI, and they're trying to build systems around AI, and again, the automation that involves AI, the efficiencies they're trying to create with AI, the speakers they're bringing in to talk about AI. In fact, I'll tell you, every time I speak at an event, there's multiple people speaking on the topic of AI, and you probably know this, like at every conference and keynote and the webinars, it's all AI, and meanwhile, communication skills getting worse. Attention spans, shrinking. Interpersonal skills completely disappearing. And salespeople, they don't know how to build relationships anymore. I mean, look, if you can't hold a conversation without hiding behind technology, that is a problem. And the more people that I talk to, the more groups I get to be in front of, the more stage I get to stand on, the more I'm seeing that people, including the younger salespeople that come into the business, they're absolutely terrified to call somebody. Like terrified. And it's not, I don't know if you boil this down to laziness. Instead, I think it's just simplicity. It's evolution. It's the fact that they've grown up communicating through screens their entire lives. Right? Everything is looking at a screen. I mean, you get young kids that walk up to literally like I don't know, picture frames or whatever. They try to scroll. Like it's normal to touch a screen and scroll. Whereas like some of us, we didn't grow up that way. Right? But these younger kids, I mean, the fact that they can text each other, they can DM each other, they can, snap each other. I mean, my kids have snap streaks with friends where they're taking pictures of like the most random thing, but like it's a streak because like it's been, 372 days we've got a snap streak. They might maybe send voice notes to each other, but again, like now suddenly with all this technology and the way they're being brought up, they're supposed to just build trust with another human being live in real time? I mean, they don't even know how to. And nobody actually seems overly concerned about that. I mean, we're so focused on becoming better at technology that we are forgetting to become better humans. And I understand why businesses are doing it. I get it. I do. Right? Like efficiency matters. Profitability matters. The whole system to the way we operate and the way things run, of course it matters. But eventually there's got to be a tipping point, right? Because businesses and I mean people, we still rely on people. People buy from people. People trust people. People follow people. People forgive people. People connect with people. Not software. Not prompts, like people. And I think there's going to come a time where organizations are going to realize they automate themselves right out of this whole human connection. And hey, when that happens, the businesses that still know how to make people feel something, I want to say that word in big, bold, caps lock letters, underlined, exclamation marks, whatever you want. The businesses that still know how to make people feel something, those are the ones that are going to win. And everyone else is going to at some point wonder, what happened? All right. Quick commercial break as we usually do on the MindShare Podcast. This episode of the MindShare Podcast is brought to you by Kits Keep in Touch Systems, your industry leader in client keep in touch marketing that drives more repeat and referral business your way. If you're not using Kits to help you with follow-up, then you're leaving money on the table. And REM, Real Estate Magazine, Canada's go-to for news, insights, and what's actually happening in the Canadian real estate industry. While you're listening, head over to the show, head over to mindshow101.com and grab your free Ultimate Marketing Bundle. And if you're ready to take things to another level, coaching, group training, momentum training, reach out. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so here's where we were. I think about one of our core, my core niche. Let's put it that way. I think about, maybe I say our as a business, mine as me. I don't know, but our niche market, all the time, and it being real estate, right? We've been playing in the sandbox for 20 years, and everybody keeps asking the question: will AI replace agents? But I got to tell you, I don't know if that's the exact right question. I mean, it might actually be the wrong question. The better question? What kind of agents survive in an AI world? Okay, so instead of saying, will it replace agents? Let's ask ourselves, what kind of agents survive in an AI world? Because, hey, like we said, AI can write the email, the listing description. It can build out marketing plans for you. It can help you organize your CRM. I mean, it can answer all sorts of questions. Fine, whatever. But like, when somebody's making the biggest financial decision in their life, who do they trust? Is it like the software and the technology? Or is it the person that's sitting across from them at the table? Like when a family is scared, maybe they're they don't know, they're uncertain about what's going on. Maybe they're like totally stressed out about what's happening. Who helps them navigate all that emotionally? Like the app or the human being? See, I said this before, right? Smartphones are smart, but they're not that smart. I'm going to say the same thing. AI is smart. AI can help with a lot, and so much more as we keep learning. But what AI can't do, it can't connect on an emotional level with a human being the way another human being can. I mean, it can write empathy, but it doesn't feel empathy. The human-to-human connection, it's stronger and more impactful than the robot. And that matters. That will always matter. I mean, think about calling in for customer service when you have an issue with a product or a bill or anything you have. Right? You know you got to make the phone call. You're already procrastinating to make the phone call because you know what kind of experience you're going to have. But finally you get frustrated enough to like make the call. You need help for something, right? And now all of a sudden, you know it and I know it. Within a few minutes, you're stuck screaming like, representative or operator or zero, or you're pounding the phone for zero. While the robot keeps telling you, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. And eventually, we get even angrier before we've even spoken to a human being, if you actually get to speak with one at all. I mean, that's insane when you actually think about it. Technology was supposed to improve the experience. But in a lot of cases, it actually removed the human experience entirely. And in turn, the AI was supposed to be an efficiency solution or a cost-saving solution, but instead, it became a problem. Because now, we as the consumer are losing, and the experience is poor. See, we didn't get the answer we wanted, and in fact, we got angrier. We got frustrated. So this solution, it actually became a big problem. And again, this is why I'm talking about it right now, because ultimately, the sales will decline, which will cost the company more, not less. Customer service drops off, experience drops off, sales drop, period. That's like any business. Well, that didn't go the way they thought it would, did it? I mean, straight up, look, I believe that the future belongs to the people who double down on being a human being. The people who, well, I'd say learn to listen. That's something, though, that we were taught when we were young. In fact, it's something that's being lost. But the people who do listen better, the people who can communicate better with other people, the people who can figure out how to lead better, make better connections, bottom line, understand people better, they're the ones who win. Because eventually, with all this tech, everybody's going to have access to the exact same technology. And pretty much that's what it is right now, right? We've got the same AI tools. We've got the same, email tools and CRM tools. Everybody's building out the same efficiencies, the same automation. I mean, just look around at people's content these days. You could tell when they've had ChatGPT or some robot write it for them. You could see it. It's clear as day. If then that statements, it's not because of this statements, it's because of that statements, bullet points everywhere. You can tell when somebody has used AI to fully write what they're doing. And I'll tell you now, as I see that from people, the credibility goes down the drain. Because it tells me that the person who posted it wasn't actually thinking. It tells me that the person who posted it wasn't necessarily even a subject matter expert in it. But because they were able to pull up content, put a script together and read something, now they seem, or post something, or send an email. Now they seem like they're the experts. Look, everybody's starting to do the same thing. So the question now again becomes, how do you stand out? See, when everybody has the same thing, the tech is no longer the differentiator. Like how good you are with AI versus how good the next person is with AI. I mean, when everybody's using the same stuff, it's no longer about that, right? It comes back to the fact that people still become the differentiator. And that right there, That is the future. Think about it. The future belongs to the person, the business, who can build trust with other people. And like I just said, I'm reading a social media post, I'm reading an email, I could tell chat, you're not building trust, you're losing trust. It belongs to the person who knows how to handle conflict properly. People stress about stuff. There are problems out there. We need problem solvers. In fact, we know that one of the biggest skills, or a main skill, a primary skill, I mean, geez, this was something that people used to put on resumes a lot, was like, I'm a good problem solver. Well, now if you're using chat or AI to solve the problem, I mean, look, and again, I don't take away from the fact that you're leveraging, different tools and different access to stuff and what AI might tell you. But if you've dug deep enough with AI, you could see it often will run you in circles. Is that solving a problem or creating more? I mean, we talk about communication, right? And again, it's easy. It's easy to have this stuff write it for you, and you can just send it out. You don't have to think straight. But it's not your words. You're not actually communicating with people, right? We look at the sales floor and the fact that people want to, automate that and leverage, bots for all that. What are we doing? Leadership. How about that? How about leadership? Are we pawning everything off to tech? Or do we have people that still know how to lead other people? Because people need leadership. People when they're under pressure, they need a leader. When we think about a leader, we can also think about, I don't want to say an influencer, but like influencing people. You could go to the politics for this one if you want to. You could go for, some of the people that have some fantastic messages that resonate well, that they've leveraged, the social medias and the online medias to get the message across. Influencing the way we think, influencing the things we do, and doing it for the better. Not throwing garbage on the ground, but picking the stuff up and throwing it in a garbage can. Like, we're talking about people that can lead, people that can drive, people that can influence others to do the right things. People that can, I used the word before, empathy. People that can make other people feel understood, feel heard. People that can have difficult conversations with other people. Help them work through a problem. Help them work through a situation in life. I mean, we can't leave all of this to tech. We can't leave all of this to a robot. Why would we do that? Why would we disconnect ourselves from other human beings? I mean, I just said it, but the whole idea of empathy, feeling for others, be able to show that you care, that emotional connection that you create, the ability to inspire somebody to take action in something in life. The robot isn't going to give it to you the same way a human's going to give it to you. And all of those skills I just mentioned, they're becoming even more valuable than ever, as opposed to less. Like when I brought up the resume and say, again, people used to talk a lot about problem solving. Now it's like you could just go and have a robot solve it for you. But like, does it really solve it for you? It's incredible how the further we go with technology, again, the more valuable, again, these skills become. And not less, but more. Because they're becoming more rare. And think about that. If AI is writing everything for you, if it's thinking for you, if it's communicating for you, if it follows up for you, eventually we got to ask, what exactly are you bringing to the table? And hey, maybe this is a wake-up call. Maybe while everybody else is learning, prompts, the real opportunity here, it's becoming exceptional at the things that AI can never replace. Being present with other people. Having empathy with other people. And that keeps coming up. The ability to lead other people, communicate with other people, trust, connection, humanity. In fact, here, I'm going to challenge you with something right now, okay? When was the last time that you called somebody instead of texting them? Or met somebody for coffee instead of a virtual Zoom? Or had dinner without your phone? When was the last time you wrote a handwritten note? Or How about, when was the last time you just sat there by yourself without needing constant stimulation from some device, from some other people? When was the last time you had like a really, tough conversation face to face with people? Or do you hide behind, the keyboard? Or when was the last time you had a conversation with somebody and actually listened to the entire conversation without the need or actually physically fidgeting and opening up the phone to see what's going on, even though you don't need to? See, all of those are muscles. And when we stop using our muscles, they get weaker, just like anything in life. Look, I'm not telling you not to use AI. Again, I want to make that very clear right now. That's not the message today. Use it, leverage it, learn it, adapt with it, but don't lose yourself in it. Don't let the convenience replace the connection with other people. Don't let the automation replace the humanity. Don't let technology to do all the thinking for you, okay? And don't forget what actually moves people. Go back in history, it's never been technology. It's always been people. I mean, think back over the years, your teachers and your coaches and mentors that you've had and your parents. The leader that you always looked up to, the friend that was your best friend or the one that was always, the go-getter and showing you that there's a possibility. That person that always showed up when it mattered? That is what people remember. And maybe, just maybe, the more we automate, the more human we need to become. And the funny part about all this, the more I thought about that speaker that I told you about off the top, the more I realized maybe my message is the future. Because if everybody learns the technology, then the real separator becomes the human being that's using it. I'm David Greenspan, reminding you to build MindShare because MindShare equals market share. Thank you to both Kits and Rem for sponsoring this episode of the MindShare Podcast, and thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you next week.